My dad came to my brother and I and said, hey, y'all have been having a really good time with this racing stuff, and we've invested into it pretty heavily, and it's time to make a decision. Because if you're going to do it professionally, you have to start putting in really hard work.
Every week, we hit the road to tell the stories of the people, places, and events that make Hunt County great. These are our friends and our neighbors telling their own stories in their own words. Stories worth knowing and sharing. These are the stories that make us proud to call this place home. And around every corner, we find something else that makes us want to celebrate Hunt County. This program would not be possible without the support of our generous sponsors. Thank you.
When I was really young, we moved out here and we were pretty poor. We all lived in a travel trailer together, my mom and my dad, my brother, my grandfather and I. Once we kind of grew out of poverty, my parents built a house over here, which is, it was built extremely cheap, but it was something great for us to grow up in, and sort of taught us a lot about grassroots and, where you come from. We got into racing because my cousin's boyfriend brought over some four-wheelers, and I was like maybe 8 years old, my brother was 9, and we got on them and just took to it like a duck to water. We were too young to actually get to go out and compete in anything or ride on any local motocross tracks. They wouldn't allow someone that was 9 years old to get onto a 200cc four-wheeler and go, anywhere. And so my dad said, well, we'll just build our own track here. I'm always outside. Whenever I was young, we would always wake up in the mornings, go outside, and just pick a direction and go. We would either grab our fishing poles and head down to the creek and try and catch some catfish, or we would head out to the lake and try and meet up with some friends and see if we could find any trouble. My dad came to my brother and I and said, hey, y'all have been having a really good time with this racing stuff, and we've invested into it pretty heavily, and it's time to make a decision. Because if you're going to do it professionally, you have to start putting in really hard work and stay focused. And my brother and I thought, oh, of course, that's what we want to do for a living. Eventually, whenever we were old enough, it was always work. My dad's a very, very hardworking individual, and he's instilled that in my brother and I. There's never really time off. Playing golf, or I never really took a whole lot of time for doing things like that. It was always making progress and trying to move forward, because ends don't just come together. You have to work hard to make ends meet. I am Cody Miller, and I celebrate Hunt County.
If you liked this story, help us celebrate by sharing it with your friends and family. Our stories appear on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and cable TV on Juice 34. You can also find us online at celebratehuntcounty.com. If you'd like to suggest someone to feature in our program, email your idea to stories@celebratehuntcounty.com.
We've had damage, like the ceiling has collapsed. Our friends put together a fundraiser through Facebook. This local roofing company reached out to us. We'll never be able to say thank you in a manner that is appropriate.